and welcome to Uptown Tonight. It is, what is it today? It's September 21st of 2022. A nice brisk day out there. Beautiful sweatshirt weather. Loving it, loving it, loving it. This is Uptown Tonight, your FM area's weekly entertainment podcast where we believe a rising tide does raise all ships. So what you can do out there right now is hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment. You can join us in the live chats, all that fun stuff. So if you're out there, please do that. It really, really does help us out. I am your host, Mr. Wayne Stollenbacher, or Discount Tom Cruise. I've been called Tom Brady before. I've been called Steve Jobs, all sorts of just random stuff. But we are here today with Mr. Robinson himself, Brady the Robinson.
Cheers.
This is going to be a great one. So can't wait to do that. But of course, right before we start everything, we got to talk about ourselves a little bit. So we do have JoJo Mayer is still up for grabs out there. So maybe we'll even give Brady a shot at winning this for, I don't know, shingles and dentals. You don't know about that. But basically all you got to do is just guess Peter Niblok's first drum set he ever purchased, Peter Niblok. And if you don't know who Peter Niblok is, check out the catalog. He's in there a couple of times. A great guy to talk with. We bonded over this DVD a million years ago, and it's a great DVD. Good for the drummers out there, good for hands. And I don't know what I just did, but that was really interesting. We're back to Brady. Hi, Brady. Hang on here.
I'll take the screen time.
Oh, I'm just putting on a bunch of stuff now. Get out of JoJo. Oh, yes, and then last weekend, I had a great weekend because on Saturday I had two definite gigs. So the first one was this guy right here. I am assistant director of marching bands over at Moorhead School. They've had two performances already, but I finally got to get a little bit of video on the move. Before all this, we actually had a drum off between West Fargo and Fargo Cheyenne and the Dragon. I think a Dragon Fire Drum Line is what they call themselves, something like that. And it was pretty cool. Everyone got to take turns playing their stuff and everything else. And I have some video of that as well, but I figured that I don't want to show that much what's going on out there with everyone else. So no, it was a really, really fun time. And then that night I got to go play again on the back of a flatbed for the last time for the year. But first we got Uptown merch. Uptown merch is out there. So if you find us, we're going to be at Grand Forks this weekend or back in town anytime. Now you can get up to us on the stage and we'll sell you a shirt. We definitely have no problems with that. And there's zebras. Brady didn't get attacked by the zebras, but he definitely doesn't look like that anymore. Brady can tell you a story about when zebras looked like that from way back. Actually, it's just a little over a year ago. And then there's Cito hugging. That's Junior. Junior hanging out with us on the stage, showing off this Uptown merch. And then there was the scene behind there. I just liked how it looked with the drum set and the fog and all that. But we were in Davenport, North Dakota, and street dance out there, and it was a ton of fun. It got pretty cold by the third set, but we made it through there. But enough about me. We need to talk about Brady. So how's Brady doing today?
I'm it's definitely getting colder out there. That's why I had to bring the Oktoberfest beer over to hang out with Wade, and 'tis the season.
Oktoberfest, yes. That stuff's good. He also brought some other treats for us for later, but we'll get into that. So, Brady, what have you been up to for the past few weeks?
Man, school's been rolling around the corner again, so getting back in that mode of trying to get up early on Monday mornings after the weekend of letting the sleep routine fall out, and then but finding routine again feels good.
I hear you on that. I've had to give up a bunch of subbing gigs, and my band still isn't fixed. I don't understand what's going on there. They didn't respond to me today, so I'm getting a little irritated with this place. I'm not going to call them out yet, but it's getting close. So Brady, let's hear your story. Where did Brady come from? What's the origins of the Robertson here?
Man, well, I came from where you came from, right in the Moorhead area.
Moorhead area.
It was fun to watch here. Those drumliners must have had a good teacher.
We just started the winter season, the winter drumline. It's a brand new program that's getting implemented in. We just started on Monday, and I'm just bragging it up now because I'm really proud of what was actually happening there. So we started from basic scratch, but we had 19 kids show up, and we're still missing 2 that I know are supposed to show up. So, and we only have 18 different instruments right now.
You didn't say the result. Who won the drum off?
Well, then no drum off yet. They got 2 weeks. We're doing training for 2 weeks, and then there's a drum off. So, so I'm all excited for that. I mean, that's going to be a really cool thing for at least the kids at Moorhead High, and for myself because that's kind of like the dream job, just running drumline and all that. And yeah, it's good. It's good. Mrs. Redlager, yeah, we're on the same page.
But yeah, I was not a band guy. I was an orchestra guy. You wouldn't believe it, but I played the fiddle for like 4 years with Mr. Brian Cole, who just won. He just won the More Heart Award. I hadn't heard of the More Heart Award, but I mean, well deserving because he was definitely the guy that got me passionate about just being around music. And not that I liked violin one bit, but it definitely helped playing crappy violin for 4 years when I eventually found guitar and I could actually make shapes. And I'll say that was because of just cruddy guitar playing to get a credit in school.
How'd you end up in orchestra in the first place? Like, what even got you into the room to audition? Not audition, they just had the fitting type things, but
you know, I can't remember the exact thing. I think it was probably just an idea of like, this sounds better than math or reading. If I can get out of a class to go and screech a violin, why not do it? So,
well, did you have any like musical endeavors before that? Were you in piano or anything?
Yeah, so I played kind of cruddy piano too with my mom. She's a good piano player, played in church and did a lot of singing and stuff, but that again was no real true passion in it. It was just kind of practice it and go do the rehearsals. But I mean, looking back on it, it's like, man, I wish I could still play piano. I mean, I haven't. When I sit down at a piano now, I look at it and have no clue what to do. But my birthday's coming up next Wednesday, so if anyone's listening out there, I would take a keyboard for a birthday gift because I would like to sit in a closed room with no one listening to what I'm doing and try to figure out piano again.
We might be able to make that happen for you, Brady. But yeah, same here. When I quit piano after like 3 or 4 years, and I look back at it, I still wish I just would have stayed with it. But I was the same way. It was like, oh, why do I got to do this? Just grinding through there.
And I'd always looked up to guitar when I was going through orchestra and piano, but never really had the audacity at that time to sit down and learn an instrument in the way that you gotta really sit down with it and suck for a long time and enjoy sucking, enjoy the process of it until I was probably 17, 18 that I was like, all right, I'm gonna commit to learning this. Because as I was younger, it was like all sports. It was running around, traveling basketball, doing golf, baseball even. That was baseball before golf. So, and then
you're a baseball kid.
As well. I was a baseball kid. I enjoyed pitching, but as soon as we went to the big mound, you know, I think it was the 6th grade to 7th grade year that they take you from the 45 feet mounds back to the 60, and I was like, I had lost my power of just being able to throw it fast and throw it by him at 45 feet. So I ended up quitting that and getting into golf a little bit later.
I gotcha. And I played baseball up until like the first year of Babe Ruth. I don't even think I made it through that season. Just kind of like, that's fine.
Yeah, no, golf is a much better game than baseball.
I still need to get out there this year. It's coming up on October, and I haven't been on a course at all. So, oh well.
Well, you got to force yourself to a tee time. Call and make it, and then just force yourself to get there. And
yeah, exactly.
Don't look back.
Exactly. It's mostly my fault.
Wait, is it time to bring out the Pendleton?
See, he teased me with this Pendleton. We got it at a show earlier this year someplace. He'll have to tell the story about that one, but he has one shot left, and, you know, I'm willing to take that. Oh, let's do this.
Well,
so while he's setting this up, I'm going to ask him, like, what years did he actually play fiddle in?
I played fiddle 5th grade, I believe we started, and then I went through 9th grade.
Oh, so you made it to high school.
I made it to high school, like I said, just to get the credits. So, yeah, it was again just to get the credit kind of a thing, but it definitely worked the dexterity and the workout of fingers. So, Wade, are you going to take the black one, or am I going to get the black?
Whichever
shot?
one you like.
I'll take the black.
Okay.
Yeah, this was from.
Looks like you're gonna have a couple of shots out of there.
Yeah, it was. I don't even remember what gig it was from, but some guy at the end of the night was like, "This is what we drink around here. You need it." Gave the full thing, and I had it in the gig bag for quite some time, and then I eventually just put it in the cupboard and kind of forgot about it. And I was like, "Well, if I'm going to the podcast with Wade tonight, I'm gonna force some alcohol upon him." So here you go, Wade.
That's absolutely fine. I'm in my own basement. Whoa, here we go.
Cheers, my boy.
Cheers. Woo.
That's gotta excite you.
Yeah. Not quite as smooth as a bullet, but oh, it is pretty tasty though. Liking that. So what'd you do? Like, how did guitar even get into your zeitgeist here? Like, where did it even come from?
Well, it was. I went to when my first year of college, I think was when it was, and I was just I kind of got godly bored being on my own with all the time you got off in between classes. And
so serious, it wasn't until college that you picked up a guitar?
Yeah, well, I had picked it up just for shits and giggles at times, but like I said, it was just I couldn't even form a chord at the times that I'd pick it up. It was just like a hold it thing, and just like, oh, I this would be fun to know. And when I finally had the time in between classes in college, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I got really into John Mayer, a little bit different than JoJo Mayer over there, but yeah, I just watched that, and I was like, I'm gonna learn it, and just stuck it out. And I can still remember the first feeling of making a chord and strumming it, and I was like, it's on.
What got you into picking up a guitar in the first place? Did you have one sitting around? You had a friend drag you out to a music store? What happened there?
It was definitely the John Mayer thing. Just he had that Where the Light DVD or whatever he had, and I'd watch that, and he'd play that thing like it was like a toy, and yeah, that was it. That was when I saw that. And then in college they actually offered a guitar class, so I had bought the guitar before that, and then I saw the class, and I was again did it for a credit, and I guess I liked the guitar a little bit more than violin and piano, because I've stuck it out longer than 4 years. Interesting.
What college did you go to? We know we went to Moorhead High, but which college?
I went to Fergus Falls Tech for 1 year, and then went to Moorhead Tech for a year, and then went to MSUM, where I finished and got my teaching degree. And yeah, after that I got a job in Moorhead, and I'm a spud again. So
spud once again. I didn't know anything about the tech schools. What were you thinking about going to the tech schools, or is it just kind of like, I got to do something?
Well, Fergus actually had a golf program, so I went there and I golfed. I golfed there for 2 years because I had a good buddy, Jordan Larson, who pulled me along and said, "Hey, come and do it." So I committed to it. And then the second year, when I was in Moorhead at the Moorhead campus, I still got to play for the Fergus team and go to Moorhead, stay at home. So
how does that work?
I got to, we just worked it out that we'd do one practice a week, and we'd go to all the tournaments. And I mean, golf is kind of a self-driven game anyway, so it's kind of, as long as your coach trusts you. And at that point,
did you play golf in Moorhead High at all then? Were you on that team?
You know, I actually didn't play golf in high school until I was a senior, so I had quite a learning curve in the golf world as far as competitive golf, because that is it's a whole nother beast when you make the jump from playing with your buddies to actually going into a competition mode where the strokes actually matter, and when you miss a 3-foot putt, you miss a 3-foot putt, you can't say, "Oh, that was good. I'm gonna mark it down. That one, I made it."
That's how I play, at least still. But I'm on a whole different level than this guy. We have a video of him, and I was going to cue it up, and I completely forgot. So maybe later, if we want to get into duct tape production mode, I can get it all queued up. So I do have it on this computer, but his form is freaking perfect. We got it in slow motion. It is a beautiful thing to watch. And it's just, I don't know, it still astonishes me. You're like the kid that can do anything.
Well, I know
I am jealous of
exactly
that.
what video you're talking about, and I believe I was hitting out of some long grass. So
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
the shot before that must not have been too good, but I guess if you approve of this swing, I'll take
It's
that.
just full technique. It's just, at least to me, it was perfect. I don't know, I'm no technician on a golf course, but it looks so pretty how it all just worked out. So I'm guessing, that must have been really, really good.
It was the Photoshop.
I know for that good at Photoshop.
No, it was all Photoshop. And the slow-mo. You put it in slow-mo, it just makes it look majestic. But thank you, Wade, for the compliment there.
Anytime. But actually, just going to school for golf. So was that your big dream at that time? Was to be a professional, semi-professional, just golf instructor? All that PGA stuff.
Definitely not my dream. Just because I knew I got into the game late, and I was still going through the massive learning curve of playing competitive golf and playing it just as well as when you're just playing for fun. And on my high school team, like, we had just solid golfers. So I knew the top of the food chain. I knew how far away I was from it at that point. So I just thoroughly enjoyed the journey of self-improvement, I guess. I think that's with anything that I get into with guitar. Like, if I like something, I just enjoy the journey of watching yourself get better at something. So that's all it was with golf, where I saw the opportunity, like, oh, I can go and get a credit in college and work towards my teaching degree and play some golf. Why not? It was kind of one of those things.
Gotcha. So what got you going with the teaching degree in the first place? I can tell you my story, but
I was originally enrolled as a business major, but on a warm, sunny day, there I went to MSUM, where I had to truly commit, because at the time when I was going from the techs to MSUM, I had to commit to my majors, because all the generals were the same for business and teaching, and it was like I said, a warm, sunny day going to MSUM. I'm like, you know what? I've always liked the idea of teaching, and you get the massive perk of having your summers off, and I can enjoy these nice summer days and golf a little bit more.
What, golf's in the summer?
That's right.
What?
That's right. I got to crack another chaser for the Pendleton there, Wado.
Oh, there we go. All right. But I don't have that big bottle opener for you this time.
Yeah, last time I was on doing the interviews, that was obnoxious. I could barely fit that thing under the desk you're sitting by.
That was awesome. So I'll cover for you for a moment, yeah, because what got me into at least the educational side was basically I was trying to do it on my own as kind of a professional clinician and all that other fun stuff, and just building up my own area. Me and a friend of mine who actually took our photos for us, at least for the Uptown things, and we started a non-profit association just doing marching arts. So it was kind of like a mini. It just turned out to be just a drum line, as it all turned out. And then we're trying to make that into like a profession along with some other things. And then I started teaching over at NDSU. I was starting to get paid a little bit for doing it, but I wasn't getting paid enough. And then it just got to the point where it was just like, this is stupid. I'm here at a college. Why don't I just go back into the college? Because I did start off at MSUM for a year. I transferred to the University of North Texas. I was there for about a year and a half until all my money was gone. Then I came home to Fargo. I still don't know why. I had a friend of mine in Austin, Texas. His parents were like, here's a room. Just come on down. We'll let you stay here until you get everything situated. And I was like, no, I got to go back to Fargo. I'll make it happen there. And I was like, I'm going to get 3 jobs. I'm going to work all this time, and I'm going to get right back down to North Texas. And then reality hit and life hit, and then my son came along, and then I won't say I was trapped. That's kind of a bad thing to say, but it gets a little more difficult, a little more interesting to try to make that stuff kind of happen. But then I did get myself back to NDSU, and I finished out my degree, and I taught professionally for a few years here, but I'm realizing more that playing professionally is just a lot more fun. That's all I'm going to say about that. So let's get back to Brady. Brady, so you're in school, you're getting your teaching degree. It's all about becoming, you can play golf, you have all this extra time, but then you have this guitar stuff in the background. But at some point, you decide to actually take that guitar and go to open mics and all that fun stuff. We might get to your photos here in just a moment with that, but we got a few more things we got to talk about. So open mics, why?
Look at the makeup crew that Wade's got here too just came in.
It's top notch, Duct Tape Productions.
Gave me a white shirt. They could tell I was heating up. But no, open mics, I guess, came about just because I committed to the guitar long enough and passionately enough that at some point I think everybody plays musically to be heard at some point. I mean,
I know a lot of guitar players that just sit in their basements and they're afraid to come out. I shouldn't say afraid, they just don't. But you have the voice that goes along with it. Where does this voice thing come from? That's just natural?
Well, that would definitely go back to Mama. Like, she did the piano thing and could sing, and actually I've got more visions of her singing in church and doing that stuff than playing piano. But yeah, I was definitely, and still, I mean, it's far better, but I'm not a guy that's just like, hey, watch me play, I'm gonna pull it out at the party. Like, it still takes a lot of courage for me to get to the point of getting up there. But once you experience it, then it's kind of one of those things where you always hear that like anxiety, it's good for you. That those nerves they're good and
helps you grow.
Yeah, and I think with guitar and open micing, that was definitely a see it for what it is. Like, yeah, that's it. I felt that. I was nervous and overcame it.
But what got you out there in the first place? What drove you to that?
Again, I think it was just out of getting a little bit bored of playing to myself in a bedroom.
Fair enough.
And kind of when you're in your bedroom practicing, it's the whole. You envision it. You want to be on the stage, and then when you get to the stage, you're like, oh, got to go back to the bedroom, pretend like I'm there. So that was quite an addicting thing. So
the stage is addicting.
Yeah,
it's a drug that can't be beat by anything.
But then just, I guess, feeling the power of like a good PA too was just on the voice primarily, more so than the guitar was why. That was when I was like, oh, I want to sing. I want to play the guitar now, kind of to sing and make people feel something that way. And when you feel the power of it on a PA that's set up nice and makes singing easy, that again, just, it's addicting. Yeah.
Oh, what was one of the first tunes that you learned that you could sing and play along with?
I was Amos Lee was kind of one of my favorites getting going. He was just a acoustic, soul-driven guy where he had no drummer behind him, so that's why I think
shame.
But he would just, it was light acoustic stuff and just sing from the heart and make it look like you know how to play the guitar on top of it. Yeah, he was a big one. Zach Brown Band was kind of the crew, the guys that made me really fall in love with music. Their first album primarily, The Foundation, listened to that nonstop and really kind of just was like, wow, music's awesome. But it didn't necessarily make me want to pick up a guitar and sing. It was kind of, like I said, the John Mayer and the Amos Lee, and then I started oddly getting into kind of some old soul, like even blues. I just fell in love with the blues. I mean, how crazy did I look just sitting there in my bedroom listening to blues players
What's
as
wrong
a college
with
kid,
that?
as they're listening to all the hip hop rap, and there I am listening to BB King or something.
That's what makes it unique and good. My friend down in Austin, he's a big time blues player down there. So Mike Keller, I'm trying to get him on the podcast, we almost, but he had some family issues that kind of sidetracked that. At least as of now for that. But I just remember every time I'd walk into his house, or he's always had a house. I don't know if he ever actually had an apartment. He might have. But I always see him in houses, and he always has a guitar on. He's always listening to blues. He's always playing blues. I mean, at points it's just like, can you just sit it down for a second, Mike? But he never does, and it's really paid off for him. But there's nothing wrong with that at all, Brady. Nothing at all. Yep.
No, I mean, the foundation of music, I guess you could say, right there. And
well, the foundation of rock and roll, at least.
Yeah, and I still, that's a better way of saying it. And I still really only know those blues boxes or scales kind of linked right around that foundation of it.
The old pentatonic scale.
It gets you a long ways.
Oh, so what was the first song that you ever played live?
It was,
and with who?
It was the Amos Lee song called "Seen It All Before," a song that is probably pretty obscure to most people, but that was kind of the niche of songs I liked doing. I didn't like, until playing with you guys, I really didn't play hits for say. I just picked out songs that it was like, all right, I'm gonna try to make this sound good and sell it and make someone enjoy it just for the purity of music.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Yeah, and there's still definitely the songs I like playing the most are songs you can give your own spin to, because the real big songs, people kind of know what to expect, and if you go too far outside of that, it's a turnoff no matter how good it is. So
that is unfortunate, but yes, I can't disagree with that.
But yeah, then it was the first time I did an open mic too. I went up there and was like, I'm just gonna play 2 songs. Most guys would go up there and they'd go play 5 songs, but I was so rattled and nervous out of my cage and played the 2 songs, and they're like, no, you need to keep playing. I'm like, no, really, that's all I got for you right now. So. But I guess I went home and was like, all right, I got to get myself up to 5 songs, so the next time I go there, I can fill the slot like all the other guys were.
There we go. I don't think I've ever been to I've been to open mics before, but I've never actually gotten on stage, I don't believe. If it did, it was a long, long time ago. So,
man,
I'm just terrible about getting out.
That's the kind of the, like looking back on it, like it's fun to connect with people that way. And then I discovered the Butters Toast Windbreak Jam, and that's where I met Cito and got invited in to play with you guys. And it's kind of a shame that they don't get to do the jam night anymore, because that would sure be fun to get up there and just...
Yeah, why don't they do that anymore? Do you have any idea?
I know it was the big COVID thing, but...
It just hasn't come back.
Yeah, it just didn't come back. I guess that's a question for the Butter of the specific. I mean, I'm sure it didn't make the Windbreak massive money or anything, but I mean, they didn't really pay the house band crazy amounts either. So I don't know if it was just a COVID thing, or because it was on Sunday nights too, which was kind of an odd night to have a jam. But it definitely, again kind of allowed me the opportunity to experience the level up of things that you need to keep feeling as a musician, because I always say in a musical journey that first time you learn a G chord and then a C chord, it's the same feeling as that first time up on an open mic stage, and then the first time getting on the wind. It's just all levels, and it's the same feeling, like when we went and played for Hairball. It's all the same. You need to keep having those level up moments of breaking through plateaus to kind of keep the journey going.
Damn right. Let's get to some of your photos while we're at it here. So, dun, dun, dun. Here we go. I really like that. I love how you have your kids on top of the guitar like that. It's so cool.
So on the left, that's my little guy Liam, and then
you got, whoops, what am I doing here? Sorry. Then
you got Baby on the other one. We got baby Violet, and that's a pretty fresh picture. That was probably a couple weeks ago, and she looks like she's planking, getting an abdomen workout in or something.
I still voted for Wade Mia.
Yeah.
But they didn't go for that.
I should have sent you the other picture of Liam, because while we were taking that picture, a split second later, he started falling off the front of the guitar.
Oh, no!
So one of the pictures, on the iPhone, they have that, second live shot.
Yep.
One of the photos is of him just, rolling off of the guitar. I did catch him, so there was no babies being harmed in the shot of this photo.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There's my little guy, a little bit older, sitting in Uncle Travis's race car. My side of the family is big on the dirt track racing, and my dad and grandpa, they got a lot of strong ties. It's got to be getting close to 60 years of Robertson racing. And
60 years?
Yeah. It might even be over that. It's kind of sad that I don't know the exact number, but yeah, that's Liam driving the car, and not actually driving, pretending to in his little 2-year-old mind. And there is that picture of me probably playing the Amos Lee Seen It All Before song, tight as a board, just like my daughter was laying on the guitar, planking.
And then that was at Dempsey's, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm looking at?
Yes, sir.
And there's a young Brady playing away.
And that was the very first time I was up on the Butters Toast Windbreak jam. And man, that was an experience I'll never forget, of just playing through, it was Kyle Christensen's amp. So it was the first truly just cranked amp where it's like you touch the electric guitar and it just explodes in your hand. And then that's Rick Adams behind me, and he sent me this picture because we go way back to when I was a little third grader, and I have a pretty cool story that I'm not going to tell right now because it's too long. And
you have that one on the Rick Adams.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But that was a special moment. That was a photo that I held on to for a really long time, and it kept me inspired to just, drive yourself to make more experiences like that. And I was shortly after I started getting into the windbreak jams that COVID happened and the whole world shut down, and so I was just starting to get my musical feelers, playing live music, and then didn't get to do it for like 3-4, actually it's like half a year. I forget how long it exactly was, but that was pretty killer. And I think during COVID, I just kind of kept that photo right there, like, all right, it's going to happen again.
And it did. It did. This is beautiful, though.
Yeah, I had to send that one just because it was laying in my iPhone, and you can't tell, but Nora is laying right next to.
Nora!
She's laying next to the tent. That's a camping trip that I took to Colorado with one of my buddies, and that just used to be another little passion of mine that I had. I'd go out to either Montana or Colorado once a year for a week period and just go backpacking, and That's just kind of, I used it as my, what would you call it, natural habit therapy or whatever you want to. It was just
resetting yourself.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't really realize how much you depend on things until you, like, this was true backpacking that I did. I did it once with a buddy I grew up with, and it was like, holy shit, we're going up here with just a backpack and we're going to try to survive for 3-4 weeks. And I got a wild story of just randomly finding a guy up there, that there were 2 other guys up there, and one of the guys, like, dang near died right in front of us, and that was like a wake up call, like, wow, this is life. But I guess it's one of those things, the closer you are to death, the more you feel alive.
Can't that. Oh, so here we go.
Yeah, that's just a repeat. You threw all you better skip that one.
I just love the hat.
Liam doesn't. Yeah. And there's us. That was the hairball backstage photo that we took. That I'll still always hold that photo tight, because it was that was quite an experience, getting to play in an arena. Like I say, you experience the levels up of music, and that was a big level up when you get to strike not only a cranked amp, but that crank amp is mic'd up into an arena. It's like a holy shit, I'm flying moment.
Oh, yeah. That was an incredible night. No, I did not wear that sweatshirt on stage. That's right before. I got a bad story about afterwards on this one, but yeah, that's all.
That's exactly what I wore up on stage, because
yes, you did.
Before those moments, I'm like geared up an hour and a half before the show, just trying to work my nerves out.
Oh, you did awesome. That was a great night.
Yeah, there's Liam. Gosh, I feel ashamed looking at all these photos. Like, I didn't get my baby girl in there enough, but I'm totally that parent now that's just going through iPhone photos and realizing they're all of my kids.
You got Nora and Finley up there too.
I do got Nora and Finley up there. That's some land that's pretty close to where we live right now, where we just go over the dike and I go walk the dogs by the river. Now that Liam's getting to the point where he can walk, I can kind of have that nature escape where I'm alone and just get to take in a beautiful whatever. And I captured this shot that, like, my dogs are, I don't know what they're looking at, but Liam's just staring into the camera with this little 2-year-old innocent grin that just kind of gets me, I guess.
He's just hanging out with Dad. He's loving it.
There's Liam again washing Uncle Trav's race car. That's a better picture of what he's driving.
That's the payback for letting him drive.
Yeah. There's Liam again. That was one of the experiences we had this past summer, where I took him to a golf course it's in Perm, and they've got a kids only section, and I thought, what a cool way to grow golf. And the sign, I can't read it. What does it say? Kids only, adults must be accompanied by a kid. And I thought, that's the greatest, that I need Liam to get onto this golf course.
So how does that work? They're like all par 3s or just shorter?
You know, they're short, and it's not a true mowed green. It's kind of mowed into fairways and rough outside. But
oh, okay.
He's swinging the club as a little 2.5-year-old and striking it well, and he's just got an itch for the game, and it's pretty crazy to see the growth that you go through as a young kid. Because I've, with guitar, I'd always feared, I'm too late. Why even try?
Never.
Because you hear all these kids that get into what they're getting into at a young age, and I mean, it's true. I watch him double his ability level within a month. Like, he's hitting it 10 yards, and then the next month he's hitting it 20, and then he's hitting it 40, and it's like, oh my God, this is what they're talking about at a young age. You just get it going.
You gonna put him in hockey at all, or let him?
My wife, she would love that. She would love to be a hockey mom, but
Hockey's pretty fun.
I know I would kiss away my life. So yeah, there is
Mom
my
right there.
wife. So that's
You still got to give me your autograph.
if the dogs were in there, I'd say that's my whole life per se right there. So yeah, that's Mama with baby Liam and baby Violet, who's about 4 months, and Liam is gonna be turning 3 here in November, and I'm starting to get to that age where you don't want to share. I can share my age. I'm 29 next Wednesday, Wade.
You're just gonna stay 29 for a long time too. But now you gotta give me Laura's autograph. She's been on that commercial. It's not as frequent as it used to be during the summer, but it's still on that one.
I'll get you an autograph.
There's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's me with the Nora girl. Who that's the dog that I got to bring to a lot of gigs this past summer, and I think maybe a couple of gigs this summer before. But
yeah, Nora's my side girl there.
Yeah, that's when you got family, and dogs are definitely family. That's, I guess, kind of what makes the whole experience better. I'm starting to really understand that if you're out doing something as a solo dog, it's not the same as if you could bring a companion dog or you got your family along doing something with you.
Most definitely.
And then there's me as that was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I coached golf at the high school level, and that was a couple of our players that were playing in the state tournament, and both of them did very, very well that year. We had a sophomore, Joe Corton, who's going to be a senior this year. He might have been a freshman that year. But anyways, he got 4th place. He played out of his mind in a way. But he's kind of one of those guys that when the anxiety, the pressure is on, he plays better. And then that is Ian Simonich, that's wearing the purple award, and he is a Bison golfer now, and he's won the Pine to Palm. And so that's kind of, I'm getting to give back to the game of golf in that way now, where I get to coach it and watch kids learn and play it better than I did at a high school level, and play it better than I do now.
Yeah, but now you're head coach.
Yes.
Head coach starting this year. So
Yep. I'll be going into my first year as the head coach. The guy on the right there is Eric Tolfson. He just retired this past season and has given me the chance to take over the reins. And man, that is quite a joy to get to work with kids in that manner of watching them play a sport that they love and that you love, and trying to achieve the same goal. And I had a hell of a time with Coach Tolfson, getting to be his assistant, and now I kind of got the pressure of taking over all of the awesome stuff he did. And but I'm excited to be the head coach too. So it's gonna be fun to take Joe Corton, who's wearing the yellow ribbon there, and see what he can do as a senior, because he played really well this summer in a lot of the competitive golf tournaments he did. So he's kind of getting to that point where he walks onto a golf course and just knows he knows he can kick anyone's ass. And when you get to that point,
confidence level.
Yeah, that's pretty unstoppable.
And we're back to this. Oh,
I had to put in that picture because I'm getting into.
Is that Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brady. Bring that into this household.
I wasn't even going to talk about that part of it. That was the day they played the Vikings, which I don't want to remember. Maybe I'm probably laying outside in agony, but
so was Aaron Rodgers. Not having it.
Exactly it. But yeah, no, Liam is kind of my little guy that just comes up and does what Daddy does, and I often just go lay out in the yard now and look up at the clouds and try to appreciate life in that way, now that I don't get to go do the camping trips and stuff and go on the long hiking trips. I'll just go lay in the yard for 10 minutes and try to clear the mind looking up. And it's pretty funny that Liam, he'll just crawl right up next to me and he'll do it, and he'll say birds, So he gets the whole concept of laying there and being present and just taking in nature for what it is.
That is beautiful. And we are out of there, so that's what we get for you on that part. Let's get back to old Brady here. All right, so we got to get to the weekly report here, but I'm going to ask you this one question only. If there's anyone you would love to play with on any stage, anywhere, who and what would it be? Who and what songs would it be? I'm going to let you sit there and stew on that here for a few minutes because we got to get to the weekly report here. So, Cito, we miss you, man. All right, you were going uptown right away on the windbreak. You got Sticky Scissors are Thursday and Saturday, so the 22nd and 24th, Sticky Scissors will be on the windbreak. And then Rhymo Reasons on Friday the 23rd at the Shooting Star Casino. Normally we have Chris Lane Friday the 23rd and Groove Incorporated. I like that name. Mustang Lounge Friday and Saturday 23rd and 24th. Sanctuary Event Center, we got Billy Prime and the Prime Time Band this Sunday 25th. And then Southtown Poorhouse in Grand Parks, we have that band Uptown. Don't know who they are is going to be out there on Saturday, so come and check that out. At Fargo Dome, we got Greta Van Fleet is going to be hitting that stage Friday the 23rd. We're going downtown Acoustic Corner Wednesday tonight. Zach Thomas is at Murphy's Pub. Thursday, tomorrow night, we have Sean Mitchell at the Midtown Tavern. We got Samantha and Chris Ellingson at the Pub West. Doug Thompson at Spicy Pie in West Fargo. Mike Morris going to be at JT Chumley. Jim White will be at Silver Spike on Friday the 23rd. We got Rick Fielder at the Outstate Brewing Company. Mike Morris at Tailgaters. And then Todd Sisson at the Alibi Lounge. On Saturday, Jim White will be hitting the stage at the Roundup Saloon. Now we're going downtown, Front Street Tap Room, Vinyl and Vino this Thursday. Tomorrow night, the 22nd, and open mic night with Travis Niros next Monday, the 26th. The Celery of open mic with Mark Quay Belcher on Wednesday. That's tonight. That's all happening. So open mic with comedy. That's a beautiful. I still need to get one of those. I just want to see what that's all like, especially in this town. Troll at the Troll Lounge, we have Karabi Soup. I believe that's how we say it. Friday, 23rd, and then the Chuckle on Saturday, 24th, and the Americana Ritmix are next Tuesday, the 27th. Fargo Brewing Company, Big Woos on Friday the 23rd, and then the quarterly High Beatbox, the Jensen Sisters, the Naughties, and DJ Ape is going to be there on Saturday 24th. Jasper Hotel, John Janicek is going to be there tomorrow night, on the 22nd, and then the 42nd Hotel in Delta. We do have Kathy Brecky and the 42nd Street Jazz Band. They're pretty much out there every Thursday, so if you need to check out some jazz, that's definitely the place to go. Still downtown, Dempsey's open mic night with Gina Powers tomorrow night, and then Poshin will be there Friday the 23rd. DCR Drum Conrath, we have open mic night with Travis Niblok Thursday tomorrow night. And VFW, 56 is not there this weekend. That was last weekend. Sorry about that. I'm not sure how that made it on there. M&J Saloon, Trippin' Leslie is there Saturday 24th. And then Icewind Brewery, Save Me CJ, again on Saturday the 24th. Now we're going out of town at the original Minot Drive will be out there Friday and Saturday, 23rd, 24th. Laughing Sun Brewing, our favorite brewing company out in Bismarck, Mandan area. Reverend Road Show along with Speedo Fee on Thursday the 22nd. Booze and Tuna Friday the 23rd. Bizman Little Big Band Monday the 26th. And the Collapsing Suns Tuesday the 27th. A whole lot of music happening out there. The Laughing Sun, thank you Laughing Sun for doing all that. Zorba's in Detroit Lakes, Triggered Llama, Saturday the 24th, and then Zorba's in Park Rapids. The Gear Daddies are finishing out their entire season. I'm wearing the t-shirt right now, Friday the 23rd. So that is our weekly report this weekend. So we're going to bring it back to Brady. I got my little puppy thing going. I just love that.
God, if this was radio, you'd have the best voice in radio.
I doubt that.
I'm blown away by how you can just spiel it out.
I'm just having fun out here. I just love having everybody on and just having conversations.
I think the times that I did the weekly report, though, it took me probably 15 minutes to get through that, and I think you got through that in 4 minutes or
You
something.
just have a different style. It's fine.
But wait, I did finish off the Pendleton. I put her back here.
Oh, that's all right.
You're gonna have to find a better place for it. But I did. You got about
Oh,
a
no!
shot there. So let's do it.
Oh no, here we go. So what are we cheering to?
For the love of the Wiz, the Wade,
and the Brady.
You're one of the best guys I know.
Oh,
and thank you for
I
being
appreciate that, but Brady, same.
So yeah, if you want me to answer that question that I really can't answer, but
you should.
I don't have like a finger answer that it would change. I think every day, but man, I'd have to say if I could get up on the stage with the Foo Fighters and like play rock and roll.
Oh man.
And scream that way.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And play Everlong.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that.
Yeah, that's rock and roll, man. So I'd say Dave Grohl, any song really. Everlong is, I guess, a song that I've learned, and I know that's one of their most badass songs that they always close out with.
So Dave Grohl, if you're ever watching this, get a hold of me or Brady here. We'll hook you up with them.
Yeah,
you won't regret it.
Don't do that.
You won't regret it.
But man, I could spiel through so many of those. I like so many different kinds of genres that that's why it's different. Because I could easily say, oh, I'd love to get up and play with the Grateful Dead and just jam to Sugary and play 2 chords and just do the.
It's all fair game.
Play your little scales for all the pot smokers out there and have them trip balls and think you're awesome for staying inside the box and playing a Mixolydian.
Getting a little humor there. Okay. Well, since we're talking about pure rock and roll and all that fun stuff, a little destruction, we ready for a little bit of Juvenile destruction? Okay, this is, again, recycled Juvenile destruction because he saw my driveway. It's getting way better. It is. It's getting cleaner. You should have saw it a month ago. It was pretty nasty. But here we go. This week's Off the Roof. Whoops. They don't even know what that is. I never heard that sound.
There's Reed.
You don't look like that. That was perfect game too. You're hired. So back to the old telephone. Does anyone even have one of those anymore?
Not like that, Wade.
No, as I had one when I was working on Finley. We had to have a landline because it actually made the internet cheaper. Why was the internet cheaper if you had a landline? I don't know, but if you didn't have it, it cost like $20 more just to have the internet. So it didn't make any sense to me. But every time that phone rang, nobody had that number. It tripped us out. It always freaked me out. But yeah. We learned after a while that literally we were like 1 digit off from the bank in Finley. So it was usually old people trying to call the bank and then they accidentally call us. So we just stopped answering it. But still, when it goes off in the middle of the afternoon, you're not used to that sound anymore. Did you ever grow up with a phone like that? Was that even things?
I couldn't tell. Was that one of the spin dial ones or was that?
No, that was just push button.
Oh, yeah. I had one of those. And yeah, with the cord and... I'd accidentally dial 911 as I was trying to 2911 with my buddies or something.
Oh!
Never had an emergency though.
That's beautiful. Well, we're supposed to ask you about your car situation because that was brought up. I was waiting for him to actually come into live chats and ask about that. But one of our mutual friends, Tyler, was like, yeah, I'm going to call up and ask him how the car situation was from a few weeks past. You got a nice little story that goes along here.
I don't know if it's a nice little story, but
I don't know, I thought it was funny.
I definitely, it was a life learning moment that, yeah, you just don't leave your keys in the car and leave the door unlocked.
What happened?
I had it was the first week of school too, and there was my car. I parked it behind my wife's vehicle, and my little baby boy was, he was ready to go to bed and fell asleep in the back of the car seat. So I just was like, I'm gonna cradle, I'm gonna so softly just pick him out, bring him to his bed and put him in there. And I focused so hard on that I didn't focus anything on locking my vehicle. And I woke up, and I'll never forget the feeling of looking out the window and immediately knowing my car just got fucking stolen.
But it's Moorhead. This stuff doesn't happen around here. That's
dude,
just the funny part.
It does.
And the place you live is not in a bad neighborhood.
No, it does happen though. Like I knew right away when I was dealing with the police that it was kind of like my job. I deal with behaviors, and you get calls that are from the extremities of, this kid is throwing his desk and throwing chairs around, and then you get calls that are like, hey, this kid won't sharpen his pencil. And that officer treated me getting my vehicle stolen to the equivalent of me treating a teacher telling me, hey, this kid's not sharpening my pencil. And I lost all hope. I lost all hope in that moment that my car would ever get returned. But it did get returned because there was a Fargo officer that was out doing a completely other random job and scanned the license plate that was on my car, and it was from another stolen vehicle. And so he was like, oh, something's fishy here. And he went and ran my VIN on my car and realized that it was a stolen vehicle. He gave me a call, and I was at the lake, and I had my brother go down and get the car, but I didn't have like my golf clubs get returned to me, or there was still a good, yeah, that was definitely the most devastating, because I ordered new clubs about a week and a half ago now, and I'm still waiting on them. So it's been hard to, Tyler Larson, he just asked that question. I just had to use he told me that they were his wife's clubs, but I know they weren't his wife's clubs, but they were some real shit clubs that just had the tiniest of sweet spots. But I absolutely love them now, because I'm hitting into a net where it's like, you got to strike the thing just perfect for it to feel good. So
it's sharpening your skills.
Yeah, it's the Sharpen Skill Club. But yeah, the moral of the story is, don't play the victim card and frickin' learn something when something happens to you. And don't say, hey, it was that motherfucker's fault for stealing my car. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I need to lock my vehicle and not leave the keys in the... That's what I tell the kids I work with when I talk about what playing the victim card is. I say, look at me, I could have taken this story 2 different ways, but I have something to learn here.
Now we definitely all learned something tonight, so excellent. Got anything left for the good of the order there? We're definitely out of time here, but...
The good of the order? I don't know if I got anything for the good of the order. I don't know what the order is.
I just love the victim card thing. Don't play the victim.
Well, man, if we're going to go off that, I'm teaching kids about the victim card all the time, but I'm also just teaching the ability of living in the present moment. The skill of just saying, I am here in this frickin' second, and I'm going to be present, and I'm going to say cheers to y'all, and that's, I guess, for the good of the order.
Awesome. And you can catch us on Uptown, bandfargo.com or Uptown Tonight Podcast at Gmail. Get a hold of us. If you got anybody that you'd like to see on the podcast, or you want to be on yourself, go ahead and get a hold of me. We'll definitely get you on the calendar. And we're on all social media platforms, so on the Tiki Taks and the Snappies and the Facebooks and all that other fun stuff. So you can get a hold of us in there. And again, if you can like, subscribe, tell your friends, share, do all that fun stuff, definitely helps us out. So remember, if your drummer has more charisma than your front man, your band's definitely in trouble. But that's why my band's doing just fine. So until next time.
Yeah.
There I am. Hey.
Yep. Say goodbye.